about Henry and his red stripes, we definitely needed red stripes, so. So anyhow, this is that picture came out like this, with the color separations.
So you basically print, you did your hand colors as of print.
I did this in black, I did this color in black, I did this color in black, but on separate layers.
Yeah.
And then the printer printed first or I don't know, they may have printed first the black, and then they printed the red, and then they printed the sort of yellowy color. I don't know what they did, which came first, but the printer had different, what do you call them? Printing sheets,
yeah,
you know, that they put on the roller.
So do I understand that you did reddish Henry, and then you did another color with brownish?
But I had to do it in all in black.
Yes.
So I had to, you know, this is a black wash. I was looking for the color separations so people could see, but I couldn't find them for some reason.
So I can see here's a little red,
yeah,
a little yellowish.
What I did that in was black. And I painted this in black, or in a wash, you know, so
yeah,
it was probably looked more like that to get to that.
Yes, that's a hand.
And that was
enjoying.
Just a horrible process. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but it just took forever, and you didn't know what it was going to look like when you came out the other side. You had no idea how the book would look.
Yeah,
you just had to interpret. You had to hope that the black paint that I put down on the paper would translate to this, or the black wash that I put down.
Yeah.
So,
wow, that's really...
that was the first book. And the second and third books were also done this way. And then the fourth book was done with 4 colors pre-separated. And which was Jerome the Babysitter, which I don't think we did any Jerome books, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And then finally, I just said, I'm not doing this pre-separated art anymore. I've done enough books for you guys that you can let me do, you know, just do the... So what happens here is I've done the painting all with color.
Yeah.
And then the computer takes over and they pre-separate the art. So they translate it into whatever the, you know, because everything that we print, or it used to be at any rate, everything that you printed was black, yellow, red, and blue.
CMYK.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And I don't know if they still have to do that.
Oh yes.
CMYK.
There's 2 different color modes. One is RGB, which is red,
Right.
green, blue for online.
Yeah.
And then cyan, magenta, yellow, black, which is printable.
So it's, anyhow, it just made a huge difference because you could see what you were doing.
Yeah, that's the glories of technology.
Yes, everything starts, you know, with a sketch like that.
Yeah.
And then we get up to here, and it's finished.
So what's your next book?
Oh, I don't know. I have 3 books going, but I haven't done much with them lately. And we'll see whether one is a graphic novel and one is, I mean, for middle age, not for, what is the term for, say, I think maybe at 10,
Middle
11,
school,
12.
yeah. Preteen, oh, tween,
Or something.
tween, I
Or
think.
I don't know. It's kind of,
So,
it was,
so for young people, do you have any advice for them?
for doing books, I just think if you love doing it, then I would say taking a course in writing for kids is, I think that was a really useful thing, because I had the Henry book when I went to that class, but Betty Bacon, who was the teacher and the past editor at Harvard, said the ending doesn't work. And so, and that was good to hear. And the other thing is to be, if you're asking for somebody to look at something and give it critique, be willing to take the critique. You don't have to follow all the advice, but
be open to it.
Yeah, be open to it, and if they say, I don't like this, why don't you like it?
Right,
What's wrong
exactly.
with it? Well, I think you should have done, X, Y, Z. I think X, Y, Z doesn't necessarily, but maybe they're right, it's wrong, it's not quite working, maybe I should do this, not what they're suggesting necessarily, but this. And the wonderful thing about my editor, Jim Giblin, was that he never said, I think you should do this. He would say, I don't quite understand this, or it's not quite working as, this doesn't work for me. Think about it, He doesn't say, I think you should say,
Yeah, not proscriptive, just
Yeah,
a little reactive.
Right.
I guess each publisher will have a different approach. There's some of them will be more harsh than others.
Some, I would avoid them if they are. I think that the way Jim edited was really good. And it's what I would suggest to people, but, I've had people, I remember some young woman came to me with a manuscript years ago at some conference, and I looked at it, and she obviously expected me to say, oh, this is fantastic, I know the editor you should go to, and blah, blah, blah. But I said, I think this isn't quite working. She was infuriated.
Wow.
That is not the way to go.
Like be open,
Yeah,
be open
you
to
have to-
all
Yeah.
unexpected, sometimes a criticism, sometimes suggestions.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and for instance, with this vote book, when I said to Jim Giblin, I've been thinking about doing a book about voting. And he said, great idea, but I think just be sure you have a kid involved. how are you gonna get a kid involved? And, you know, which was good advice. Not that I hadn't thought about it that far, but, so, kid and other kid. Yes, but she's the principal kid involved in this book. And the dogs also are very important. And Mom, who's the candidate, is sort of secondary to all of the dogs and the girl. And so it worked.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are so grateful to have your work in the CX Over Gallery. And we hope to have more and more authors and to have this opportunity to show to the public. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's interesting to
share your stories and your talent to the public and to influence our young people to do the same and to get involved in the social change.